Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am going to continue working on my Wonky 9-patch quilt that I am making. If you're not familiar with this series, there is a playlist link down below in the description box and in the comments and on the end screen. So there's no excuse for you to miss out. I'm going to probably do a very quick video tonight. I would like to just put these rows together, and then, I don't know, maybe I'll look at, what I want for backing and stuff like that. I have marked my strips now. The top left piece has one pin on the first Wonky block. So that, I know, is my top row. This one has a pin on my second Wonky block. So that's my second row. And then this one has a pin on my third Wonky block. 1, 2, 3. So it's my third row. So now I will not get confused, because it's easy to get confused. What I want to do right now is just determine how long I need my sashing strip to be. And this measures 35 inches. So I'm going to cut like 36 inches because I like to have a little extra. It allows for some shifting and for not being perfect. And then we just trim the extra off after. Since I am leaning towards ragging the edge of this instead of doing any kind of a binding, I am also going to put a sashing on the bottom and on the very top. So I need 4 strips. Jeez, I hope I have enough. Even if I change my mind and I don't want to do the ragging, it will at least give me a border to do something. So I need 4 strips. What did I say? 36 inches? I think this measured 35. Yeah. So I need 4 strips, and I'm going to cut them 2 inches wide, just like the sashing I did between the blocks. Oh, I'll have it, no problem. Because this piece is folded 4 times. Well, it's folded twice, so it's 4 layers, and that gives me like 22, 32, 42. So I certainly have 36. So if I cut 4 strips at 2 inches, that's going to give me the 4 strips that I need. I'm not even going to bother to trim these because I will just trim after. I am going to press them though to get the creases out, and then I'll just see you over at the machine. Tried to move my camera up so you can see a little bit more. Before I take you to the machine, I want to show you that I did again put my rows down so that I know what I'm sewing next. I'm just going to start here at the bottom. So I'm going to add a strip of sashing here. Then I will put the sashing on this side and then attach this one, and we'll just work our way up. So I'm going to add the sashing here. Now I know that I have a lot of extra sashing, so I'm just going to stick it out a little bit on this side, and I'm going to sew with my same 1/4 inch seam allowance. In my case, I just follow the edge of my foot. It doesn't matter if it's a 1/4 inch or a little bit more or a little bit less. What's more important is that you're consistent. And even if you screw up a little bit, that's not a big deal. But we're just aiming for, doing the same throughout. I will press after, and you can see that I have this much left, and I will trim that after, and of course I'll keep this. Okay, so this, I'm going to turn it around, and this was the bottom of my quilt. This is where the other piece is going to be attached. Here, but we need to put another sashing. Just do the same thing. My bobbin ran out of thread. And I was prepared. I already had some extras spun. Good thing to do when you're quilting is to have plenty of bobbins. Now I'm at the point where I'm going to add another row. So this is going to go on to there. Now I'm going to do the same thing that I did when I put the blocks together. I'm obviously not going to match this sashing up to here because this is completely off. So I'm going to match it up to my previous block, and that's what's going to determine if it's straight or not. Even if your sashing was trimmed to perfection, you want to see that this edge is matching up. That's the important part. I'm totally enjoying putting this quilt top together. I think I could very much be into the quilt top making. I'm still not a fan of the actual quilting, but who knows, maybe I'll start to like it, especially with a little quilt. I'm not going to mind it so much with a little quilt, but it's still going to be cumbersome. All right, I'm putting another sashing strip on the end of this one. I am ready to add my next row, and I know that I'm in the right direction and the right order because I have my pins as markers. Going to flip this onto here. I'm going to match up the edges of my blocks. Good, good. And I wasn't even paying attention, but I do see that my row ends up nice and even. I did a pretty good job. If it wasn't, don't worry, it's okay. Especially if you're ragging the edge, it's not going to matter. You wouldn't even have to trim it. You're just gonna rag it and it'll fray. So ragging is good. Doesn't mean you don't have the right to be pissed off at yourself, because you certainly can. I'm not gonna tell you not to beat yourself up. I get that all the time. Being upset with yourself or frustrated, that's all okay. That's all good. That's all normal. But then it's also okay to just continue with the project and be good with it. Because if we give up every time we're frustrated, we're never going to get anything done, ever. One of two things will happen if you push through it. You will eventually do it enough times that you'll get better at it, or you'll just keep screwing up and you'll eventually get good at just not caring about the screw-ups. Either way, it's a win-win. I'm going to take my pins out and I'm going to press this now, and we'll have a quilt top, and then I will trim the edges and I'll show you what it looks like. And as I was pressing, I realized I forgot to put the last strip of sashing at the very top of the quilt. So we must do that right now. Let's trim off this junk on the sides, and that's going to cut off any threads too. This I'll keep. Let's turn this around. Look! Oh my God, it's so pretty! I love it so much. So we have a finished quilt top, and I think it is fantastic. And I think it will go on eBay at some point, and I really believe that it would look great on top of a dog bed. I think a dog would love this, or for a person, but I just think, what a cool blanket for a dog. I can see a nice big dog who has a nice big bed on the floor, how much they would just love to like scratch their blankie and bunch it all up into a ball. I will be using polyester batting, very easy to wash and dry, and if I'm ragging the edge, I will be washing it and drying it, you know, when it's done. So, you know what? I am going to stop here. I have some other things that I need to do, and I just wanted to knock this out. I was anxious to put this together. The next video, we will be cutting the batting and the backing, and I think I will be using this homespun cotton that was, once again, in my aunt's stash. It has a lot of the same colors that are in this, but I just think it would be great for the backing, and I hope I have enough batting. I'm pretty sure I do. If not, I can piece some together. All right, so I'm just going to stop here for now. We have the quilt top done, and I hope to work on this, hopefully, maybe again tomorrow. So that's it, and I'll be back with more soon. Thanks for watching. Bye! This series is obviously going to be longer than I expected because I think I'd like to just do a little at a time and upload as I go. But I will get it done quick. I'm either going to work on it every day or maybe every other day, but I will not let it drag out. I promise. Stupid phone.